Are you looking to find out if you can file your taxes completely free? I'll tell you everything you need to know in just a sec. Hi everyone, my name is Nailea with OMNI. I'm a finance professional and a tax preparer, and today we're going to review what the requirements are that you need to meet in order to file completely free with the IRS. Then I'll take you to the IRS's website and show you exactly how to navigate to that link and how to choose the right company for you. How this works: the IRS partnered with a certain number of companies that agreed to file free, completely free tax returns, including direct deposit, for individuals that meet specific requirements. The program is called IRS Free File, and it's really important to understand that you have to use the IRS's link and go through their website to get to these program sites in order to qualify for Free File. If you go to those programs sites directly, you will not have the opportunity to file for free. Only taxpayers whose AGI is $73,000 or less can qualify to file for free with the IRS. For married couples filing jointly, that's $73,000 combined. So how do you figure out your adjusted gross income? Usually your adjusted gross income is all of your income put together minus deductions. Some common deductions are 401k contributions, HSA or health savings account related contributions, as well as educational expenses. Those things can be deducted from your total income to get your adjusted gross income. In general, if you just have a W-2 that you're working with, you can look at box 1 of the W-2, the wages, tips, and other compensation, and use that number. If that number's under $73,000, I would say keep listening and see if you can file for free. If you happen to have a lot of different income, W-2s, 1099 miscellaneous, 1099Ks, and you really would like to get an idea if you're on the verge there of the 73,000, maybe you make 8, maybe you have 86, and you want to see if your deductions will qualify you, you can do one of two things. You can use the calculator that I linked in the description for OMNI calculator to try to figure out your adjusted gross income, or you can just go ahead and click on one of the links that we'll talk about later in the video and try to see if they accept your filing as a free file. Note that you can only file for this year's return. If you have prior year returns that you have not completed, then you'll have to meet with a tax professional or do it yourself via a paper file with the IRS. That's a little complicated, so I highly recommend going to a tax professional for that. All right, so the first requirement, if you have $73,000 or less in AGI, adjusted gross income for the year that you're trying to file. The next really important thing that you need before even going to see if you qualify for these IRS free file is to have your prior year return with you, whether it's electronic or paper copy, because you have to reference the prior year AGI or your self-selected PIN number in order to verify your identity with the IRS. If you do not have your prior year return, you have no idea where it is, we'll talk about that later in the video to see how you can get that information. Also, if you live in a state where you have to file taxes as well, there is a possibility that you can get that done for free as well through this offering of the IRS, but it's not entirely guaranteed. Now I'll take you to the IRS's website and we'll navigate exactly where you need to go. So the first thing you need to do is click on the link in my description below. This is going to take you directly to the page that shows you where the IRS free file information is. So you have two options here. You can choose an IRS free file offer, or you can use the free fillable forms. Again, the fillable forms are available for any income level if you don't want to file electronically, although I highly recommend filing electronically as the IRS is very behind. They usually are, and you want to try to get your return as quickly as possible. So we'll go ahead and pick the choose an IRS free file offer button. In the IRS free file online options page, you'll see that it tells you what you will need in order to file your taxes. You'll need your income statements, your W-2s, your 1099s, anything that states money earned, any adjustments to income, and any dependent information. So if you have children, you need their social security numbers. If you have daycare costs, you need those bills. If you have educational costs, if you have the education forms for educational expenses, basically gather your mortgage interest statement, anything you have related to taxes. At this time, it's a good time to gather it all together before going into this next page. You also, again, need your prior year tax return in order to get your adjusted gross income to verify your identity, or that PIN number that you created either last year or in years prior to verify your identity with the IRS. So I'm going to go ahead and click Browse All. And now we're at the IRS Free File Online page. We can filter by certain items, but there's really not that many options. There's about 8 options for providers, so we can just start going through a few of them, and that way you get an idea of what you're looking for and where you might fit so that you can view the offer. So the first one we see here is fileyourtaxes.com. This is giving you a brief description of the qualifications you need in order to file with this exact provider. So with this provider, your AGI needs to be, your adjusted gross income, between $9,500 and $73,000. Your age needs to be 65 or younger, and any state of residence is okay. So you can live in any of the 50 states in the United States and still be able to file there. Doesn't have free state filing. Free state return if eligible for federal return for, and then it gives you IA, ID, ND, and VT. So it only allows free state returns for those specific states if you live in those states. The EITC included if age and AGI criteria are met. So that means it's going to go ahead and filter through the data that you input for your taxes and decide if you're qualified for the Earned Income Tax Credit, or the EITC. And for the military, most of these will actually, if you are a military personnel, then you will be included in most of these free file options and be able to file for free. All right, so if you meet these requirements and this looks good to you, you can hit view this offer, or you can go ahead and go to, let's say you don't live in one of those states and you really would like to find a free state filing as well. Let's keep going to the next one and see if we can find something for you. So the next option is Free Tax USA. You have to have an AGI of $41,000 or less for this one. So again, that $73,000 requirement is the maximum that any of these companies is offering, but it doesn't mean that each company is offering that amount. So you have to pay attention to what the requirements are for each company. You can be any age for this one. You can live in any state, and it does provide free state returns if you qualify for the federal return. So this will be a good one for anyone making less than $41,000. Again, if it's married, then it's $41,000 together. And again, the EITC will be calculated based on the amounts you enter, which is likely that you'll receive an EITC if you do qualify for that AGI. I'll go over one more as an example, and then you can go ahead and decide and look through all the rest of them and decide if this is right for you. So at the Tax Act, your AGI has to be $65,000 or less. You have to be 56 years or younger. You can live in any state, and you can free state return for some states if you qualify for the return. So it doesn't exactly specify which states. You'd have to click on View Offer, and we'll go ahead and do that to see if what it tells us right on that first page. So here, right on the very first page, when we click on it, something I want to note is that it really has to say at the top left, IRS Free File Program. This is how you know you are still following the IRS's link and you're in the Free File Program. If you go to taxact.com individually or separately from this, then you will not be in the qualifier for a free return. So the first question that Tax Act is asking is, am I 56 years old or younger and my adjusted gross income less than $65,000? And then, as I said, for those in the military, there will be some sort of option for you in all of these. They try to be more flexible for those military personnel. So in this case, Tax Act is offering military personnel an AGI of less than $73,000 of free file. So if you have either of those, you can go ahead and click on Start My Return. And what it's going to do, it's going to ask you to create a login. and all of the sites are going to do that. You're going to need to create a login. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow the prompts and fill in the information based on the documents that you have. Make sure that you are filling out the information in as detailed as possible with all of the numbers as accurately as it states on your documents. I also made a video on how to get your return as fast as possible, and I'm going to link it here as well if you want to see that. But it's critical to have accurate information and not guess. So if you don't know the number and you know you should have that number, there has to be a document for it somewhere, whether it's from your bank, from the mortgage company, from your church, for whatever it is that your number you're looking for. Make sure that you seek that document that has the actual number in it and don't guess. So what happens if you do not have your prior year tax return? What are you going to do? So the IRS, I linked it below, has a transcript request line. And what you'll do is you'll submit a form online and it will process a transcript request for your tax return for a certain period of time. So you can request, at this point, you can request multiple tax returns for prior years if that's something that you're interested in, or if you just need your information from last year, you can request it that way. With that being said, it is really important to print your return and keep a digital copy of it once you are complete with it, so that you don't go through the hassle of having to find your return next year or wondering if you actually have it. And finally, seek help if you need it. All of these websites are going to have FAQs, they're going to have chat boxes, they're going to have an email or maybe a phone number that you can call to ask questions. Don't fill out your information in doubt. Make sure that you know exactly what you're filling out and that you understand, so that at the end of the day, you get your return as quickly as possible and there are no errors for the IRS to review. If you've filled out all of the form and in the end you do not qualify for the e-file, these companies will be able to offer you the product for a fee. Usually the fees I've noticed are under $20 or between $15 and $30. And then the state taxes will be around that amount as well. So it's not too expensive to get done if, for example, you don't qualify for the free file and you have to pay for your return and you've already have all your information on the website. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any more questions, tax questions or finance questions, personal finance, please add them in the comments below. Tell me what you want to see next and what kind of tax questions you want me to answer this tax season. If you like this video, make sure to click on like and subscribe and the notification bell so you know when that next informational video is coming out.